I love Dunkin' Donuts. I splurged today. I haven't had Starbucks.
You needed it though, because you started happy crying at one point. I was like, Ashley, what do
I do? Today
she looks happy, but she's crying, and I think she's short-circuiting.
Today has been a roller coaster of emotions.
Short-circuiting.
It was good.
She was like so excited, and her eyes welled up, and I was like, oh no,
What do I do?
She looked at me and she goes, "Can I text Ashley? Because I don't know what to do."
As long as it's happy crying, we're good.
There's a one point Tiffany went, Dr. Pepper, jalapeno, beef jerky, and I'm like, she's having a stroke. Time to go.
Hello and welcome. We are the Ladies of Strange. I'm Ashley.
I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Rebecca.
Thank you for joining us each week as we discuss
The history, mystery, and theory.
Of all things questionable, odd, and eerie.
We're back.
We're back.
What?
I know to you guys, it doesn't seem like it's been that long, but it's been a while for us.
Holidays are rough.
Holidays are fun.
They're fun.
I just miss you guys.
Yeah.
I
a
miss
lot.
schedules.
Oh, love
Rebecca's
you too.
like, I don't care. I just need consistency.
I really do.
Sure, I feel the love. No, I
Right.
can't say that. I did get a pin and wine. So
And
stickers.
And
Don't even. Ugh.
anyone care to chime in?
And
No?
nauseous because Rebecca brought an EMF reader for the studio, and I got immediately sick to my stomach.
I've only seen it move twice.
You can bite me.
it flickers all the time.
Good. Well,
That's just telling you it's working.
anyway. Hi guys.
Hi.
All right. So, you guys want to talk about poisons and not get into the subject yet because I almost did that again.
Did what?
Did what? I almost started
Poisons.
like jumping into my topic.
Ah, yes.
But
right.
let's talk about poisons instead.
Poisons. I lost it. I was going to keep going, but I can't remember the lyrics to it. Let's see. My poison is potty training.
Again.
For Bug, right?
Yes. Yes.
Last time it was for her. This time it's the child.
Making sure
Yeah.
it's not Hagrid.
It's
Because I thought
still-
we'd passed that stage.
Depends on what kind of evening, if we drank too much or not, but you know.
It's fine.
Yeah. Have I used potty training before?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a bitch. We were doing really good with it, and then we went out of town, and he was like, no.
I don't want to do this
I feel like
anymore.
we're going back to spot one. But, you know, we'll get there.
I mean, it's not like when
Spot one?
Stage one. Yeah, spot one. It's a game.
Ooh.
Oh.
It's not like with kids
Home
you like
base.
make progress and then regress and make progress and regress. That's not something that
Spoiler, that doesn't stop.
No,
Ever.
No.
ever.
Hopefully there's no regression with the podcast.
Woo, woo, woo.
Yet.
Hopefully.
Oh, so one of my initial goals, I said I wanted to like see if we could hit a certain number by the end of the year. And the last update Rebecca sent was like 7 downloads away from it, and it's not the end of the year yet.
Hey.
Are you talking about 500?
Yeah.
We hit.
We hit that. We're like at 526 now.
What? She sent an update
Yeah.
like the next day
I
that we
didn't get
broke
it.
it.
You
Yeah.
did. You said, eek.
I love that Rebecca hears our text and our voices.
Oh man, okay.
Yeah, we got there, my love.
Oh man.
I'm serious. I can pull it up right now.
I think that's
Roller
what we're
coaster
all
of
doing.
emotion. This is an exciting time of my
a
life.
day for you.
Oh god.
That's my hair dye pictures.
That's your elf on the
Or
shelf.
Rebecca can
That's
just pull it
the
up on her
toilet
phone.
not working. Go, beat Rebecca. Go, beat Rebecca.
501. That's
woo, 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 woo.
right. Oh. 526.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shoot, man.
So, yeah, let's bust 1,000.
Ow, 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 ow.
Oh, just
That would be
awesome.
ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
That was my lofty goal. Let's see if we can break 1,000 by the new year, even though we just started in October. It's fine.
It's fine.
Why not?
Cheers.
This is the good time to cut in with my poison.
Yes.
So my poison has just been getting back to the daily grind,
Yeah.
and not like in a bad way. Just I'm playing catch up. I've been playing catch up for the past 2 days.
I'm
So is Tiffany.
Sorry.
What the hell were you looking at? Your wine?
I'm not looking at the name on the coaster through the wine glass. It's fine.
Tiffany?
She's such a child. Kids that need lids.
It's been a day.
It really has. Tiffany started happy crying at work, and I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
Just say, there. You're pretty. So
That's pretty much what I did. I texted Ashley. I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do?
So how was getting back to life after the travels and all of
You know how
the
most
changes
weeks,
that we've all had for this latter half of this year?
you know how most weeks have one Monday. We've had two. It's Tuesday.
Yeah. It's Monday number 2.
It's like back to normal, but it's also really back to normal. And I'm just like, okay, you can stop being normal now.
Yeah.
So when can I travel again?
Soon. Right?
Are you traveling for the...
I'm going to see my parents. That's not a plane ride, thank God.
No, it's not.
Hi, Mom and Dad.
Hi.
They do listen. I've confirmed that.
I know.
Yay.
I'm so excited about that. Although, I know I say some things sometimes that I'm like, oh.
No, they... Over Thanksgiving during a long car ride, they were
jeez.
listening to one of the episodes, and I was like, "What?" My mom was texting me, and I asked her, "What episode are you listening to?" She goes, "Sleep paralysis." I'm like, "Stop now! Please stop listening before you get to the stories."
Oh, yeah.
You have my
'cause your
little
dad
brother in
knows
the car,
Your dad
and-
knows what succulents are now.
Oh my God!
I love that
So
so much.
when I panicked over my parents listening to that episode, I immediately called my mom and like, "You need to stop. Like wherever you are, you just need to stop."
Yeah, don't listen to that with the youngest brother in the car.
So I'm
It's
talking
not
to my
that
mom. I'm like,
bad.
"Look, you know me, but I have no control over my co-host. So you just kind of need to stop before the stories." And my dad from the side goes, "We learn what succulents are." And I was like, "Dad,
Yes, Dad. Succulents. Now turn it off.
do you mean succubus?" Yeah, succubus. That happens in like stage 4 sleep paralysis, right? I'm like, no.
I'm so happy though. That makes me so happy.
Yeah, that's
Speaking of which,
incredible.
hi, Dad.
Hi.
Hello to Rebecca's entire family, and thank you for being so supportive.
Yes.
You guys rock.
Fan-damn-tastic.
I'm not disowned. It's great.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We're just
Yeah,
getting
keyword.
started.
Hey.
Keyword.
Give me time to turn everybody against you. It'll happen.
I don't think that's how that works.
Is that a threat?
No.
If my family hasn't turned against me because of you yet.
Fair.
That's a fair point.
I mean, we haven't quite hit the 20-year mark yet, so there's
Although
still time.
my brother did give me the best review of our podcast.
This is so great.
So he was like, "So I've been listening and it's really good. I kind of feel like I'm already friends with Ashley and I don't know what to think about Tiffany."
You never will,
And I'm
honey.
like, that
You
is
never will.
accurate for the
Yep.
first 3 months.
That's a
3 months.
That's
That's
generous.
Very generous.
I can be nice.
You are so sweet. Well, to Rebecca's brother, affectionately known as Thor amongst the group,
No, affectionately by them, unaffectionately by me. I don't like it.
I
I apologize.
calls them like I sees them.
I apologize, but I don't think you'll ever get used to me. So, yay!
Yay. Tiffany, what's your poison?
Woohoo! My poison is relief. My poison is relief. I'm like an emotional roller coaster right now because
Did you
I've
fart?
been. No, that was me hitting my chair.
Oh, you said relief. And then,
And then I like fanned my arms for a roller coaster. It was
We
bad.
are children.
fart jokes are funny.
They really are. I have had a lot of tension in my body that I didn't realize was there until I did something at work today that has been building for a while. And once it was over, my whole body just kind of went like limp noodle. Yeah. And it's so nice to not be worried about how I'm going to do, because it was my first time doing something there.
Mm-hmm.
And that first time doing something is always scary in a new job. So I'm glad it's done.
I'm not
so
trying
happy.
to interrupt you, but do you ever just forget to breathe sometimes?
It's called apnea. You should get that checked.
I was just sitting here and I was like, oh, that helps. Why is this? Why am I panicking?
I love you so much.
Oh, God. And I'm the one that people say they want to be friends with. Okay. I'm not sure what that says about your brother, Rebecca.
It may be why
Yep.
I'm the only one who's really stuck around for 20 plus years. Well, not the only one, but close to.
I have friends longer than you, believe it or not.
Longer? How much longer? 5 inches? 6 inches?
I don't know. Tiffany's pretty well hung.
Damn it, that's not what I meant. Tiffany, get your brain out. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen.
again.
Crap.
Let's see. My longest friend, I have been friends with her since 2nd grade. So however many years that be.
That be.
A lot.
You
And
would
I
have
met
been...
Tiffany in 5th, going into 5th grade.
Yes.
So
You
3
were...
years
yeah.
longer. 22 years.
Woo, woo, woo.
What are
Hey,
you talking about today?
we're going to talk about a conspiracy theory.
Ooh.
So excited.
I'm getting used to these noises all over again.
We're going to talk about a conspiracy theory.
Okay.
And I'm really excited about it. Have you guys ever heard of the Philadelphia experiment?
No.
Fabulous. All right, well, I'm going to tell you
Like-
about it. But this one happens to do with Navy ships. So the Philadelphia experiment is essentially... Nope, that's not a word.
Essentially?
Essentially, not essentially.
Brown chicken, brown cow.
I went to a completely different place than that. Can we move on?
Yes. All right. So the timeline on this, because it's a conspiracy theory, isn't exactly like set in stone. So I'm going to kind of
Is this a warning?
tell you the gist. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Heads up. Get out your notebooks.
the Philadelphia experiment happened in 1943. There were 2 experiments done, and one was July-ish time frame,
Summer.
summer of 1943.
Okay.
The government was experimenting with a bunch of different things around this time. So
It was World War II.
it was World War II. They were developing the atomic bomb around this time.
Mm-hmm.
They did Project Paperclip, where they took a bunch of the scientists and engineers and technicians from Nazi Germany and brought them over here and said, hey, we'll make you U.S. government officials or government employees if you work for us instead of them. So that kind of thing was going on.
Sneaky.
So there was a lot of weird stuff, a lot of experiments going on then. But this particular one was trying to turn a naval ship invisible.
Okay.
Like
Like,
invisible to radar?
if they performed this experiment on you, I would be looking straight through you.
Wow.
I know.
Okay.
Magic.
Magic.
Oh,
What if Hogwarts was involved?
Oh, it's magic.
I know. So in the summer of 1943, they were working on making the ship invisible, and it was the USS Eldridge. So they were successful in making this disappear and reappear. Like, you're looking at it, it's gone, and the next thing you know, it's back.
Okay.
Yeah. So they wanted to try this again.
Wait, they did
It's
this.
like this ship in Avengers.
Yes. And they used degaussing for that. No, they don't. Nope.
No, they
Nope.
used
That comes
mirrors.
later. That comes later in my story.
I was like, I don't know
Didn't
what that
happen.
is.
They
I just
don't-
have mirrors.
I was about to say, that's mirrors.
No. I'm good at storytelling.
You get really excited.
I do. I get so excited. Okay.
She gets real excited when she learns new big words and tries to throw them in.
Fair. All right. So they tried to recreate this in October of 1943. Sometimes they say August 12th of 1943, which is really specific. So I kind of feel like that's the one. But we're going to roll with October because I wrote it.
It's not what I think it is, but that's what's written down.
They loaded the ship with all the crewmen and...
All of the semen.
I couldn't say that word. I just couldn't do it because I would erupt into laughter. So they loaded the ship with all the seamen.
Sailors.
With all the seamen.
Sailors.
With all the what?
Look what you did, Ashley.
I know, I love it. I needed this.
Why am I 12?
Are you crying again?
No.
Not yet.
Yes.
I don't know if it's the thought of sailors or seamen that did it to her, but
We're moving on either way.
All right. So they loaded the crew and they decided they were going to test this out. Essentially, if you believe this conspiracy theory, Einstein and Nikola Tesla were involved.
Okay.
Einstein, the look on your face, Ashley, is great. Einstein,
I'm trying to math and geography, and it's not working
well,
very
Einstein came over around the same time as
Yeah, because he helped with the
Atomic Bomb.
atomic bomb.
well. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
He's not that old. I mean, he is, but
This
not
is
as old as you were
I was
thinking.
just trying to think back to the dates and the location.
Yeah.
Don't mind my confused faces.
Sounds good. You're going to have a lot of those this story.
I forgot how to breathe a minute ago. Okay.
Fair. The story goes that Einstein figured out the unified field theory, which for Ashley and I is an idea that there's one explanation for the behavior of absolutely everything. And he figured out what that was.
What is it?
Well, I mean, it's what turned this ship invisible. That's all I got for you.
Okay.
Is it 42?
Yes. The answer was 42.
Semen.
So,
Nope. Damn it.
all right. I'm back. So what they did was they used Tesla's coils, which were not around at this time, unless you believe this conspiracy theory. The government covered
Okay,
it
you
up.
have to keep the ruse up.
Yes. No. Oh, well, some people don't believe in conspiracy theories.
That's fair.
I'm not saying I'm one of those people.
So you're basically saying we didn't know these existed at this time.
There you
Exactly.
go.
Okay, that makes sense.
All right. So between Einstein's unified field theory and the Tesla coils and the semen, they were able to make this. Rebecca's not impressed.
No, that was Rebecca brushing a smile over her face. She's like, no,
It's like
funny.
you gotta stop saying semen.
Never.
They were able to turn the ship invisible.
Poof.
Not only were they able to turn the ship invisible,
Okay.
they were able to make it completely disappear and teleport to Norfolk, Virginia, over 200 miles away.
Okay.
How quickly
Wait.
did it teleport?
First off, technicality, it's not invisible if it's somewhere else.
Well, it became invisible,
And
and then
then
it
showed up.
teleported elsewhere.
But how long did it not just like sail there?
No, it did not, because it's over 200 miles away, which
Okay.
normally takes 2 days to get there and back. But it was able to get there and come back. Not just come back 10 minutes prior to when it originally disappeared.
What?
That part, okay, so let me just forewarn you. We're going to put a blanket statement out there before you finish that thought.
How did it
Hold
turn
Hold
invisible?
on. Can you do me a favor? Let me put this,
Shut up.
let me put this blanket statement out there.
Okay.
There are going to be things in this story that don't make sense and have no explanation, and you just roll with it because there is no answer. And we'll get to it at the end. Don't bite your lip like that. It's
But
fine.
it can't be invisible if it showed up 10 minutes earlier. Then there's just two
Right.
of them.
I know that's what I thought too, but I couldn't find an answer to that.
Because
So
there's not. It's physically impossible. Sorry.
But if it showed up 10 minutes before it disappeared, then it would have already been there before it disappeared. So it technically didn't show up. It was just there.
Yeah. So the only thing I could like maybe pull from this was that it became invisible, and then it took a while for it to teleport, and then another one appeared. I don't know. Real confused on this point. This point,
Me too.
I know, this point gives me a little confusion. But, oh, I forgot to mention one thing. Before it disappeared, it had this, like, blue-green haze around it.
Okay.
Smoke
And then-
screen.
Yes, exactly. Giant smoke
Giant
screen.
fog machine.
It,
It's all a Christian Blaine thing.
Chris-
Is that not? Is that his name?
nope.
David Blaine.
David Blaine.
David Blaine.
I should not reference.
I was like, I don't remember anything about Christianity that involved the...
Let's go back to the semen. Let's go.
I was very confused by that statement.
All right. So, David
I was
Blaine.
too.
Blue-green
Stuff.
stuff. Thank
Were you
you.
thinking Chris Angel and David Blaine?
Yep.
Okay.
That's where I was. Thank you.
Disappeared, reappeared over 200 miles away in Norfolk, Virginia, and then disappeared from there and reappeared back in Philadelphia.
10 minutes
I
ahead
was
of
there.
schedule.
I was there. And
You were-
not at this time, but that's where I went for Thanksgiving.
What? Wormholes!
There's a lot of ships there.
Rebecca all of a sudden just like jumped back to a past life, and she's like, you know what?
No, I drove by the shipyard while I was there.
Oh, man.
Maybe you saw the
I
USS
did. I guarantee
Seaman.
you, I didn't.
I don't remember what the boat was called.
Eldridge. USS
Same
Salmon
thing.
is-
I don't think it's still in service.
It is not.
Okay, so I would not have.
No. But if you wormholed back to 1943, you
I
did.
did not.
Tease. All right.
Why you gotta play us like that, Rebecca?
Sorry.
So go to 1956 now,
Why?
because nobody knows this happened.
Okay.
It's just like an experiment that went on that they did not tell anybody about.
Somebody had to have known it happened if they saw it And they have timelines.
U.S. government.
Well, here comes 1956 when Carlos M. I don't know.
Call him Carlos.
Well, I'm actually going to call him Carl Allen because that's his real name, but Carlos was his not pseudonym. What's his name? When you put a fake name out there.
His
I think it's pseudonym.
All right.
M?
Oh,
I don't
was
know.
that right? Okay, we're going to roll with it.
We're gonna.
So Carlos sent a letter and eventually like 50 letters to
alias.
That's
Thank you.
Sorry.
The lady who
Continue.
forgot to breathe remembered alias. So Carlos sent a letter, and eventually 50, to Morris Jessup. And Morris Jessup is the author of The Case for the UFO. And in these letters, he said, basically, what you say about the unified field theory is wrong. And I can prove it to you because I worked with Albert Einstein, and he showed me how unified field theory works. And, of course, you're like, well, cool.
Aren't
Prove
you
it.
lucky?
Okay.
Yeah, you're like, cool, prove it. And he goes, I can't.
Do you have a journal article on this?
He goes, let me tell you about the Philadelphia experiment. Basically, his only proof was this story he told about what happened in Philadelphia. The ship, they tested it out with the Tesla coils and Einstein, and it disappeared, and they were like, yeah, let's try it one more time with a bigger ship. And they used the USS Eldridge with all the crewmen on board, and it disappeared, time traveled, came back, teleported, that's another word I forgot, teleported and time traveled. Yeah. And that's my proof. He's like, well, I need a little more proof than just your story. He's like, well, the crewmen on board, some went mad, some were set on fire, some fused to the ship. Yeah, some just disappeared completely.
Some were set on fire?
Yeah.
Or some caught on fire?
Caught on fire. Words are hard. I'm telling you, I happy cried like 10 times today, so.
I was just like, well, that's rude.
We have crewmen spontaneously combusting.
Mm-hmm. Are you proud of me for not saying semen?
You are 10 years old.
12. I was in an Ashley snort.
So
I'm just thinking semen disappeared, semen fused to the ship, semen caught on fire.
you should get that checked.
Whole new meaning to the term fire crutch. Carry on, my wayward
Why did
son.
I bring one bottle?
Fair.
I'm not even drinking it.
All right.
Yep.
So he tells this story about the crewmen and all the stuff that's happening. And he's like, this is my proof that I worked with Albert Einstein. And what you know about the unified field theory is wrong.
Because I have stories.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Page flip.
Ooh.
Super fancy. Don't drop it.
Uh-huh. So when Carl's only proof was this, Morris was like, no thanks, I'm going to get back to writing actual books about
gracias.
UFOs.
Smart.
Yeah. So,
As you do.
uh-huh. A little while later, 2 naval researchers with the U.S. military show up at Jessup's store and say, hey, do you know anything about this Carlos M. A guy? And he's like, well, yeah, I do. Why do you ask? Apparently, he had sent the U.S. government, what's his name? Jessup's book. And in the margins, he had written a conversation between 3 people. One of those is supposed to be an alien, describing the
Sorry,
Philadelphia
what?
experiment. Mm-hmm.
Him, alien, gonna come back to that one. Who's the third person?
Just a third person. It turns out it's all 3 Carlos.
You
or
don't
Carl
say.
Allen. Mm-hmm. But it's written in 3 different colors of ink, and he writes. Each person has a different handwriting. He forges.
That's called bipolar disorder. Everyone should go to the doctor.
Mental health is real, y'all.
Yep.
Yeah. So he sends this to the military, and they show up on Morris's door and like, hey.
That's not bipolar disorder. That's a...
Multiple personality
Yeah, that
disorder.
one.
Yep. And they're like, hey, do you know of this guy? And he's like, yeah, I do. And they are like, oh, he presented us this book, which actually the package said Happy Easter on it, which I thought was kind of funny. So they're like, whoa, he sent us this book. Do you know anything about it? And he's like, no, I mean, he's written me letters, but I haven't really done anything about it. There was no proof to it. And I'm like, all right, thanks. See you later. Have a nice day.
Okay.
A few years later, his life is kind of spiraling down. He gets a divorce. Everything's falling apart. And he ends up killing himself. Morris does.
That's
The book.
unfortunate.
Yes. But some
This
of his
took a
friends
turn.
some of his friends say that he had gotten really excited because he had a break in the case of the Philadelphia experiment. He had proof that it actually happened, and he was going to go meet with a friend to confirm everything, and then the next thing they know, he shows up dead. So, conspiracy theorists believe that the 2 naval researchers who showed up on his door, and the fact that he was going to prove the Philadelphia experiment wrong when he committed suicide, air quote, prove that there is some actual truth to the Philadelphia experiment.
Okay.
They believe the military killed him to keep it covered up.
Sure, and totally not the Men in Black.
Here come
The Men in Black.
Why couldn't they just use their mind eraser?
Defenders.
Whoa.
This was before the mind eraser came a thing, obviously.
Obviously.
fair.
This is still, what, 1956?
Yeah.
Well,
This is
60s when he died.
Yeah, he died.
1960s, color television was just becoming a thing. It's fine.
Okay, so we're going to mention Men in Black and colored TV later on, so I need
Oh,
you to,
well,
like,
sorry.
calm down.
That was an accident.
Wow. It's like H.H. Holmes all over
I
again.
told you she was there.
You were. Thanks for proving
I'm
it.
a Time Lord.
2 hearts.
Spoiler. No, I'm not.
Spoiler.
Spoilers. Oh, I love River. Okay.
You good?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Let's try and debunk this.
Let's try.
Sorry.
Might be difficult because I'm so invested in the logical aspect of the story. But let's try. Let's see if we can make it happen.
That was salty.
I mean, yes. Let's.
You know what else is salty? Nope, not going there.
Semen!
Sorry.
All right.
Sorry, Mom and Dad. I understand if you withdraw your donation.
All right. In July, when the initial experiment was to take place, the USS Eldridge, according to military records, was in Brooklyn, which is not Philadelphia.
No.
No, it's not.
So it's hard to have the Philadelphia experiment performed in Philadelphia when the ship is not actually there.
Well, I mean, wormholes, right?
Wormholes.
It's not like plot holes. They're different.
Because, naval ships didn't look similar.
I mean, that's one thing that I had not actually written down and thought about. So, hey.
Military.
I'll forget that ships look alike while you
Do
forget to
people
breathe.
go with one design that works and make 20 of them?
Definitely not in the military.
No.
All right. Edward Dudgeon?
Oh, yes.
Dudgeon.
Okay.
Well, when I originally said this while I was talking in my car, I said dungeon and got real excited. So I had to make sure to emphasize.
So he was in Brooklyn?
No.
The boat was in Brooklyn.
The boat was in Brooklyn. Edward Dudgeon is another gentleman who said that he was on another ship in the Philadelphia shipyard when the October incident occurred.
Okay.
He said that he can prove none of that actually happened. So there's one story that's going around that says there was a bar brawl where 2 of the sailors just disappeared altogether because they were part of the Philadelphia experiment. I know that part gets kind of hazy.
What?
Yeah. But he explains that particular theory or that particular story away by saying he was one of the men that was said to have disappeared. He lied about how old he was to get into the Navy. He was actually only 16. And when this bar brawl broke out, the barmaid felt real bad for him and another guy who were underage and snuck them out the back. So it looks like they just kind of disappeared. But
I mean, when you're drunk, that is what that looks like.
yeah. And also, the shipyard was experimenting with invisibility, but it was degaussing, which is where they use magnets and pullers and all that. Pullers? Wow.
Who
polar
are
bears?
you? Polarity, that's where she was going.
It was, but happy tears, semen, it's everywhere. Rosé. So the ship...
Magnets.
So they were just trying to throw off radar.
They were.
Not actually invisible.
They were going to be invisible to radar.
Gotcha.
Which was very prominent. That kind of stuff was very prominent around that time.
Yeah.
So not far off. He also said that the disappearing and reappearing in Virginia, only to reappear back in Pennsylvania, could be something people thought they saw. So it was a 2-day trip to go there and back. But the U.S. military had a canal that cut the 2-day trip down to 6 hours. So if you were just not really paying attention, you look over, there's the USS Eldridge. You go off and do something down below deck and you come back up and it's gone. You're like, oh, okay, maybe it went out. I know. Just roll with it. We're going to get there. This whole story, you're just going to have to, like, roll with it.
Oh, I'm rolling
There's a
with the
canal?
homies.
There is. Shoot. I didn't write down what it was. But there...
I'll look it
A
up
super
later.
secret military canal.
Sure, okay. It's called the Panama Canal. Just kidding.
No, there's a canal that...
Even I know that that's not in the right place of the part of the country.
I know.
So, not even the right country. So, let's go back to this. So, if you weren't paying attention, you were below deck or something, you saw it was gone. You're like, okay, it's out on a...
For 12 hours?
It was gone for... Yeah, it was a 6-hour there and back trip.
So, round trip is 6 hours?
Yes.
Okay.
So, you look up, it's gone. You're like, no big deal. It's out doing something. Then it comes back 6 hours later. You're like, no big deal. It's back. Well, then there are stories of it appearing in Virginia.
When it should take 2 days.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, people who worked... Are these people who worked for the military that are seeing this?
Well, just people
It's
in
unclear.
general.
Just people in general.
Okay, so stop questioning it.
Yeah, a
Okay.
lot of this you're just going to have to kind of roll with. Again,
Okay.
we're rolling
Well, it's
with
just that
the
it-
homies.
Was 6 hours instead of 2 days.
Yeah.
Which, game of telephone, 6 hours turns into 6 minutes, and then you have conspiracy theories.
Exactly. So
Okay.
between the guy disappearing and the two guys disappearing, the ship making a 6-hour trip that's supposed to take 2 days, and you add...
Was that Titan?
That was Titan sneezing. Sorry. Then you add, years and years and years and people playing telephone. The story gets a little confusing.
A little?
Yeah.
Okay.
So in 1999, the USS Eldridge crew had a reunion, and they said that anytime anybody asked about it, they're like, it's not true. But sometimes they wanted to have a little fun, so they'd play along and be like, oh yeah, my hand was fused into the ship for a while. And
But
then
it's fine now.
when we reappeared in Virginia, or back in Philadelphia, I was able to pull it out while the molecules were all
It's fine now.
up
My
in the
iron
air.
content's a little out of whack, but I'm fine.
Yeah. So they just kind of rolled with
Merely
it.
a flesh wound.
They rolled with it with some people just for poos and ha-has. So
Poos and ahas.
I didn't want to say shits and giggles, but now you made me say it.
Because we've said semen a record dozen time. But don't say shit. That might take it too far.
Again, sorry,
Fair.
Mom and Dad.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Poos and ha-has.
So, just looking at the Philadelphia experiment and the things that happened that through a game of telephone in many, many years, you could be like, okay, I see why people would make that story up. There was a movie made about it in 88 or 89, I think.
Okay.
And they just kind of like took that conspiracy theory and ran with it and had fun with it. So it's easily debunked. It's easily said it's not true. No big deal. But then comes a guy named Al Bielek. We're going to talk about him for a minute because he's fun.
Al Bielek.
Bielek.
Bielek. Bueller.
Bueller. Al Bielek.
Oh,
Titan.
This is not your episode.
do we need to take a break to top off our cocktails and kick the cat out of the room?
Probably.
Let's take a break.
Should I make something up for us?
Yes, please. do.
Alrighty.
Welcome back to Conspiranalysis,
Why are you saying welcome back?
because we're just coming back.
Anyways,
Anyways,
if you like conspiracy talk and
paranormal talk
ghost talk
and conspiracy talk.
and news and
Yeah, nerd news every now and then.
and stuff like that,
Come see your boy, Mick Shagger.
boy, hey man,
Shag Nasty.
I'm fucking here too.
And
I'm Nick the Coon. Nick.
you got to work on that.
And Nicky Nack.
This
But hey,
is the podcast where we don't know shit and we tell you all about it.
That's right, and we're on Spotify and iTunes and Google
Instagram,
Podcasts and Instagrams and
and-
Facebooks and emails and
And
Instagrams.
Those places, and unfortunately Facebooks.
Yeah, that too. But come and give us a listen. Thanks for listening to this promo that we put together at the last minute. Later.
With more alcohol.
More rosé.
So we don't question it as much.
I should not be drinking rosé today, because I'm like already loopy on my own chemical body thing.
Really?
Go.
I couldn't tell.
Don't know where we left off, but we're going to start with Al Bielek.
Okay.
And I lied. You ready to talk about Ed Cameron? Hey.
Who?
I know, I'm taking you on this fun ride. It's a blast.
Sure. Okay.
All right. Ed Cameron and his brother Duncan Cameron were on USS Eldridge when the experiments took place.
You missed Tiffany's air quotes.
Look,
Quote unquote took place.
I firmly, wholeheartedly
It's because
believe
there's
this.
2 of them at the same time, so like it's a little fuzzy.
They're
Just
brothers.
a little. No, the ships, because the 10 minutes.
I thought we were talking about brothers again.
We are, but kind of. I don't know.
It's fine.
They were each on one ship.
Yep.
And they were twins.
Ooh,
Were they twins?
No,
Oh.
but we'll roll.
Why
with
not?
it.
Anything can happen, apparently.
So Ed Cameron was on this with his brother when it happened. When everything started to go crazy, the ship was disappearing. Molecules were going everywhere. People were fusing.
Those damn molecules.
No, they're a nuisance.
Just going everywhere.
Kind of like the semen on board. But they were. Actually, I'm proud of you for containing that. I see it on your face.
Molecules everywhere.
I couldn't contain that one.
Can we go back to the molecules? I like molecules. They make sense and don't make me uncomfortable, usually.
Ashley, cover your face. Just ignore this is happening. All right. People are fusing to the ship. People are catching on fire. People are disappearing.
Okay.
Ed and Duncan Cameron see this and say, "Oh shit, no," and jump ship.
Oh, shit, no.
Exactly. I think that's an official
They
quote.
say Father, Son, and Holy Ship, and they jump.
Exactly.
They say
Holy
father,
ship.
son, and jump the holy ship.
Exactly. All full circle. They jump off the ship, and their plan is to just land in the water and swim away. But they jumped into a wormhole.
Oh, damn it.
no.
This is why you don't just leave those lying around.
Thank you. Well, there are a lot of wormholes left around in this
Clean
story.
up your wormholes,
How
people.
many wormholes are there?
Look,
Infinite.
guys, I've told you to clean up your wormholes 1,000 times. If you don't clean them up, I'm tossing them out.
They're going in the trash.
Exactly. When this happened, they jump ship into the wormhole and land in 2137.
Of course they do.
Yeah. So Ed and
That's
Duncan.
a big wormhole.
So they're in 2137 for 6 weeks. 4 weeks of that, they were in a hospital bed. And it was because when they jumped off the Eldridge, went through the wormhole, they got burned in hyperspace.
As you do.
Yeah, you know, radiation and shit.
Radiation and shit.
That's what it says in my notes.
Molecules.
So,
I mean, that is a risk outer space, so.
exactly.
But they're not in outer space, they're in a wormhole. I don't know how this works.
Look,
Hyperspace.
do you know how wormholes work?
I'm assuming it's another dimension that we're not meant to tolerate. And that's why he got burned.
Exactly. Boom. Exactly.
The tea was too hot.
Ooh, I put in here spill the tea somewhere in my notes. Man, all right. So he's there, and he remembers waking up and noticing that the TV that they had on was in color. And he was like,
In 2137,
yeah. He was
we
like,
still just have color TV. It's not like 3D or anything.
"I'm
It's
not
in a
recording."
hospital. You know how crappy TVs are in a hospital.
Good point.
Probably the TVs that we had in the big box TVs will still be in hospitals in the 2100s.
Probably.
Yeah.
Be like, ooh, my room has a DVD player.
Oh, girl. So he knew something was up. He was asking around and was watching a news program, and they mentioned something about the U.S. or North America.
Okay.
And when they did, they showed us a picture of it, and he was like, that doesn't look right. Like, can you explain this? And they're like, yeah, this is, what's going on here. So he asked for, long convoluted story. Basically, he realizes he's in the future, and he asked for a map to see what's going on because the map doesn't look right.
We still have maps, like the paper foldy maps.
He doesn't
What's wrong with
clarify.
paper?
You can never get them folded back. They take up like the entire dashboard of your car.
Well, good news is he's not in a car.
His whole hospital bed.
I mean, we just discussed how hospitals still have tube TVs, so the fact that they have paper maps isn't that far-fetched.
I don't necessarily know if it's a paper map, though. He just says they
So-
brought out a map. It could be on a tablet. It could be...
Then he would really flip it.
Guys.
What is
I was
this
trying to
magical
say-
paper?
I was trying to say flip and
Flip
freak.
his...
At the same time. You really fleep. You're
So,
fleeping me out, man.
how did Map tell him what's going on?
Well, he's looking at it. He said that Florida is pretty much gone. The panhandle's the only thing left.
Global warming. Too soon. Hashtag too soon.
Oh,
Sorry.
sorry,
Shit.
Ashley.
It's fine.
Just don't...
Did California look like it got burned?
Look at this. Okay.
Oh, burn.
I love how like natural disasters is what worries us, but not the scores of inappropriate jokes.
Oh, God, no.
Oh.
I'm going to say something really bad that my husband would not be proud of me for.
That one statement and not the 20 episodes we have out.
I know. He's so happy to be
20?
married to me.
Exaggeration. We have
Okay, I was like, wait a second. I missed a handful
we have
there.
more than 10.
We recorded while you weren't around, and
7,
At what
8,
point I was on a
9,
plane
10.
that didn't
This is
disappear
11.
and I did not fuse to.
good.
That
All right.
you know of.
So basically, Florida only has a panhandle left. The Georgia coastline is mostly gone, and Atlanta is only 3 miles from the ocean now.
Sweet.
The Carolinas are almost gone. The Mississippi River has like engulfed all of Mississippi and upwards and runs into the Great Lakes, which are now one lake.
Global warming.
California is pretty much gone, so not due to a fire. But he's like, man, this looks really funky. Can you tell me what's going on? You guys ready for some fun stories?
Yes.
At this point,
Yeah, it's so exciting. Are
Okay.
you saying beforehand they haven't been fun?
No, she's saying that you're just now asking.
you're
if
just
it's
now
ready for
asking if
fun.
these are the fun
I was
stories.
about to say,
I'm
you're
like,
almost as salty as those seamen.
I hate you.
You did it to yourself,
You did.
ma'am.
I know. I
All right.
can't help myself. I mean, what? Blah.
One of us.
One of us.
Okay, fun story.
So, explaining the map, fun stories.
Yes. So he asked, like, oh my God, what happened here? And I'm not going to give you the dates quite yet on when this happened.
Wouldn't want to freak anybody out.
Screw it. Let's go ahead and prove this accurate. Basically, what he was told while he was in the hospital bed was that in 2025, all of
Yay.
this took place.
Okay.
What is this?
All of the coastlines changing places.
So the
no
ice
longer-
caps just melted all at once.
January 1st, 2029.
5.
Yep.
About as accurate as the Mayan calendar.
The way it was explained to him was that in roughly 2003 to 2005, ish starts going sideways. There's earthquakes, there are fires.
Basically, what he saw happened is happening now, which is super comforting.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
So when I first read that, I was like, 2003, man, that was so long ago. But then I started thinking back to like when some stuff started happening. I'm like, let's just ignore this.
Yeah.
That's what I do with a lot of uncomfortable things in my life. I just ignore it and hope
Sweep
it goes
it
away.
under the rug.
Yes. So 6 weeks goes by and something happens. He says he's not sure what. He doesn't remember how it happened.
So he knows something happened.
Yeah, he said all of a sudden he woke up in 2749.
So he goes from 21
37.
to 2749.
Correct.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, but he didn't jump off of anything. How did he get there?
He doesn't remember. He's not sure. Like that part's still fuzzy.
Someday I'm going to trip and end up in some future.
I just pictured you like,
Like the year 3000.
oh, well,
Been to the year 3000.
would you like to know what you're in store for?
Sure.
All right.
Just change,
You're-
but we live underwater. Sorry, continue. Jonas Brothers.
We
again.
have to because of the irradiation. Anyway.
So Ed Cameron goes by himself. Duncan is not along for this journey.
So he doesn't fall into the wormhole.
He does
It's-
not.
So is Duncan still in 21 something?
He is in 2137.
So does his brother just disappear?
No, he's still in 2137.
Yeah,
No,
but the
he
other
is,
brother-
but the other one.
Oh, yeah, he just disappeared and he's in 2749.
But at this point, that's normal for
Cool.
them.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
just like, oh, that brother of mine going down another wormhole.
I
He'll be
know.
back.
He'll be back. He tends to like trip over things sometimes.
wanders.
And falls.
This is going to make
into
me
worm-
paranoid. I trip all the time.
Well, just watch for wormholes. You'll be right.
How do you know?
Take your EMF
Look
detector.
look for color TV.
So he's in 2749?
2749.
Okay.
He's stuck there for 2 years.
Wow.
That's a long time.
I know.
Did they just not leave their wormholes lying around? Did
No,
they
by that
figure
time,
that out?
by that time, they're like, "Oh man, somebody left this lying around again. We're just gonna like toss it in the trash."
Wormhole patrol.
It's like Minecraft. You can't just leave those laying around.
You can't. Oh man, I'm so excited. All right, so he says in 2749 there are floating cities and ground-based cities, but a lot of floating
So
cities.
we're in Star Wars now?
And they're 2.5 miles high.
From
Like the actual city,
like-
or is it like you always see in the future where they have like the long little like stalactite and then the base and then the town?
Well, you've got these floating cities that are high up, but he's talking about like the structures on the city
Are 2.5 miles?
can go
Is our
up to.
atmosphere even that big? I should know this.
All right, Ravenclaw, calm down. You're gonna have a lot of issues with the story.
Calm down.
This is what I do. I panic over details.
He did say, though, that, like, the weight of that would crush certain structures, but they'd figured out by that point how they build a level, and then they put something that future technology... Wormholes. Basically, they put something in between it that supports the load of only that level, and then build a level of the city, put another, like, future-y thing.
Right, because that's how physics works.
Yeah, sprinkle some dust on that, and good.
I think my statics teacher just had a heart attack.
Does your statics, is that even a class?
Statistics?
Yeah. No. Oh my God.
I thought you mispronounced.
Statics is basically the science behind stuff that doesn't move. So like bridges.
There's an entire class about
Yes.
stuff that doesn't do anything?
Oh,
yes.
what is
you have
it?
to calculate the forces
What
of
kind
it.
of engineer is that? The bridges?
Civil engineering.
Thank you.
We used to joke about my statics professor having to cross bridges that were built by his failing students.
There's an entire class about things that don't do anything.
Yeah, because they don't move, but you still have to know like where the forces go. Like just because it's there doesn't mean it doesn't have gravity. You have to know where the forces go.
And you paid money to go to this class about
I have
things
to
that
know,
don't do
like,
anything.
okay, so it gets really complicated when things move. So in order to understand how things move, you have to understand what happens when things don't move first. Yes, statics is a real thing, and what you just said doesn't make sense, Tiffany.
Well, it's
Okay.
because we're in the year 2018, not the year
Is
2749.
everything made from vibranium? Because that's the only thing that makes sense.
You were using a lot of really big words.
Okay, vibranium is the mythical metal that Captain America's shield was made from.
I was like, Thor's hammer or Captain America's shield? Which one
Well,
is she
all I was
talking
thinking
about?
was like, that's not Superman's kryptonite. Like, I don't know what we're doing.
Tiffany's an old school superhero fan.
Okay, today on Rebecca Explains Statics.
Oh, you're wearing a Captain America shirt.
I am.
Look at you.
I still can't get over the fact that there's an entire class about things that don't do anything.
In the year 2749, there
You
would
don't
be a
have to go to that
longer
class.
class about that. So he's stuck there for 2 years. There is a really long interview with him about these 2 years.
Okay.
I was distracted and decided that we're just going to focus on some other stuff. So
That's fine.
You're more than welcome to go look it up. I'll be like, he's got a fun voice to listen to. We'll post some of the links to his interviews on the blog.
Is it just audio?
No, there's a couple like actual videos of him.
Yeah, we'll post links to the YouTube videos.
Yeah. So it's fun, but you can hear all about it. But there's a lot to cover with him. So I said Albia Lake. We're talking about Ed Cameron right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because this isn't confusing enough. I'm trying.
Look,
Hard.
this whole story is just like, what I'm doing is basically, you know, pick up sticks where you take all the information and just like drop it on the floor and you
Except
have
it's
to try
not
and
pick
pick it
up skits.
Nope.
Pick up sticks. It's cook spaghetti.
Exactly. And you're trying to pick up each noodle. Well, all the noodles have like molded together in hyperspace. So
So you pick up one and there's 5 because you put olive oil on it and now it's a mess.
yeah, always put olive oil on your pasta.
I never put olive oil in my pasta.
Do you put
when I cook
salt?
it. In the water? Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So after the second year, they basically like, they being whoever is in control of some experiment.
Okay.
Not quite sure on who. Basically say, you need to go back to 2137, pick up your brother, and get the fuck out. Like, you gotta fix some shit that's going wrong. Okay?
Okay.
What?
So they send it back to 2137.
Okay. And he picks up his brother.
They say, get Duncan. He gets Duncan.
You get that, Duncan.
Okay. Brothers.
Yes. We're gonna send you back to 1983.
Where did 1983 come into this?
Are you ready for some information?
Ready.
Sure.
All right. So Ed Cameron and Duncan Cameron are now in 1983. They get sent back to Montauk, Long Island, New York. There's a thing called the Montauk Project. Yeah.
How many conspiracy theories is this?
I mean, I think we're on like 10. It's fine.
Only 10? Okay.
We gotta slowly introduce these on our
Okay,
show, guys.
Montauk Project.
Yes.
1983.
1983. Ed and Cameron are brought to this naval force base.
Very different.
They're brought to a military base.
Okay.
So they're brought to Montauk. Basically, when they get there, their memory is wiped.
Of course it is. Because that's when the mind wipey things are invented by the Men in Black.
See? I told you we were going to get to Men in Black. Boom.
So they sent them back to fix stuff, but wiped their minds so they don't know what they're supposed
How
to be
are they
fixing.
supposed to fix things if they don't know what they're fixing?
Basically, when they jumped off the ship, they effed up a lot of S by leaving the scene.
Disappearing.
Yeah. Like, you know, the butterfly effect?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Well, basically, them jumping ship.
It's basically the basis of any time travel movie. Oh, you have to go back and fix it.
Exactly. When they left the scene, it set off a chain of events that jacked everything up.
So this is why if you ever get an opportunity to time travel,
You say no.
no, you just go forward because you're a lot less likely to mess something up.
So when they get back to 1983,
Okay.
basically, let me pull out another set of notes real quick.
Or another handful of noodles.
Yeah, I'm pulling out more noodles. Hold on.
You're bringing out the magic paper, which is the iPad.
Uh-huh.
Color
Magic
TV.
paper. It's got color and everything.
So they go back to 1983.
Okay.
And there is a scientist his actual name was Dr. von Neumann. And
Okay.
he was a part of the Philadelphia experiment.
Okay.
Of course.
And then 40-something years later, he moved on to the Montauk Project. So he's there, and he's like, hey, you guys were supposed to be in this thing in 1943. You weren't there
How does he know this?
because
Because
he was part of the Philadelphia Project.
So how did 27 whatever communicate with...
Time travel.
That doesn't...
Time travel.
He didn't have to. He was part of the experiment. The guys disappeared, and then they showed up again in the 80s.
Yeah, but she's asking why the people in 27...
No, I'm asking, like... I need to just stop asking questions. Continue.
Don't ask questions on this one.
Too late.
All right. Basically, he was like, hey, guys, like, you were supposed to be on this thing. You weren't. It jacked up a bunch of S, but you need to be in 1983 to fix it.
They're in 1983.
Yes. So now that you're here,
Okay.
I'm going to age regress you.
What?
I'm going to age regress you. You are no longer...
They're Benjamin buttoning this?
Mm-hmm. Because the military has all of this knowledge. They know how to time travel. They know how to teleport.
But if they time
They
travel,
know
they
how to
wouldn't have
age
aged.
regress. Yeah, but they're age regressing them now. They're going to say, you know what? I'm going to age regress you back to 9 months old and put you in Albiolic. That's where that guy comes in. So you can watch
Both
his
of
YouTube
them?
videos. No, just
Put
Ed
you
Cameron. I don't know who.
What happened to Duncan?
I don't know where he went.
Wait a second. Putting them in Albiolic?
Yeah, so
9
Albiolic's
months old.
born in 1927. At 9 months old, Ed Cameron's conscience is put... He's age regressed and his conscience is put into Albiolic.
Are you sure this wasn't a fever dream?
I mean, honey, it's a conspiracy theory. It's probably all a fever
Yeah,
dream.
but like, okay. 9-month-old baby, man, regressed. Yep.
Apparently, that age regression thing is a common practice in
okay.
the military.
Sure.
And you can take a person back to a fetus, according to Albiolic.
Who's a baby.
Not anymore. That was 1927.
Okay.
So his earliest memory...
So they age regressed them and then time traveled with them?
But just their conscience.
Just their conscience. They took their... Okay, so they show up in 1983, and they're like, all right, you were supposed to be here to fix everything, but you can't know about any of this ish, so we're going to put your conscience. Age regress you, put your conscience into this baby. Boom. Ed Cameron is now Albiolic. At 9 months old, his earliest memory is sitting around... He's in a bassinet. Sitting on top... Or not a bassinet, just like a little...
Box.
Yeah, some kind of thing that holds a child.
Bassinet.
Well, it's sitting on top of a piano. So my bassinet would not fit on top of a piano.
Carrier.
Yeah, a carrier
Not
sitting
the
on top
point.
of a piano.
Okay.
And he remembers knowing what his family was talking about sitting around the piano. And a 9-month-old should not know what's going on. As he grew up, he was known as the walking encyclopedia. And he took this electronics test. And he was the only one of his peers who passed this. I'm not sure what the electronics test is.
What does that mean?
Yeah, apparently there was some, like, test, like, you take the SATs, except for it's not mandatory. I don't know. I'm trying to relate it, but it's hard. They took this test where you work with electronics, and he was the only one of his peers that passed it. So the Navy recruited him as a consultant towards the end of World War II and asked him to work.
So he
with
was
them.
born in 1927. Mm-hmm. He would have still been a teenager.
I mean, he would have been late teens,
Yeah.
early 20s.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when you go
That's-
into the military.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
mean,
my
now-
dad joined at 18.
Yeah.
That's not the... I'm just...
I love her random noises when she's flustered.
I just...
My brain has misfired like 5 times.
This whole thing is totally accurate and 100% sound.
Okay.
Just roll with
And
it.
yet I'm the crazy one for thinking there's science between things that don't move.
Fair.
No, I don't believe you. Not believe you that there is a science. I just think it's stupid.
And there should be an entire class on
dare
it.
you make fun of my craft? JK, I'm not a civil engineer.
I wish I could be a little more sympathetic towards you, my love.
So he's a consultant or
Okay.
a contractor
Yep.
for the Navy
Okay.
at the end of World War II.
Okay.
And as he's working on all these things they want him to work on, people start spilling the tea. See, I told you it was in here.
There it is.
About aliens and psychic operations, things that they're working on.
Aliens and psychic operations.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's really sad?
What?
The military psychic operations is the most plausible thing you've said since we started recording.
She has a point.
MK Ultra. That needs to be its own whole thing.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my god.
Uh-huh.
I mean, wine.
Wine. So, MK Ultra is the same time frame as the Philadelphia experiment. So, yeah, it's true. So they're talking about aliens and psychic operations. Al Bielek was recruited to work on the Montauk Project while he was working in California. So he's in California, and they're like,
Wait. I thought, when was the Montauk Project?
83.
Yeah, when is he working on this?
Born in 27.
Yeah.
He worked for the Navy,
Okay.
and then fast forward a couple years. I forgot
Couple?
to mention that part.
You mean like 60?
Yeah. Well, no, he started
No.
working for the Navy when he was towards the end of World War II.
Okay, so 40.
Yeah, so he's working with them, and then he
20
keeps
years.
working
Yeah,
with them.
40 years.
And now he's working with the Montauk Project.
Yeah, so he gets
And
recruited to work on
he
the Montauk
sees
Project.
Himself? What?
Yeah, that's the part that I had the little head twitch about. So go ahead, continue. Finish your story.
He doesn't realize that he was Ed Cameron at this point. So he gets recruited. Hold on. Fast forward a couple years. He's recruited to work on the Montauk Project.
Okay.
But he's currently working in California. So what
Okay.
he does is he worked his normal job in California during the day, and he took a, quote, classified, high-speed, deep-tunneled, underground, magnetic, levitating subway train from LA to Montauk at night. And it took 2 hours to get from California to Montauk.
No.
Yeah.
Why could he have not just taken a plane?
Or a wormhole, since those are everywhere.
Well, I mean, I guess they fixed the Wormhole project when they
Also-
came back to 1983.
It would have taken more than 4 hours, even today, to go.
Well, no, but the military has a bunch of technology that we don't know about.
A jet?
Apparently.
So they have this underground tunnel that takes 2 hours to get from California to Montauk.
Sure.
But that was only until they fixed the whole teleportation thing. And then he was able to travel from his apartment to Montauk like that.
So we're in Star Trek now.
No, the U.S. government has teleportation abilities.
Yeah, we're in Star Trek now.
I need you to calm down with your sci-fi stuff, okay?
Sorry. How am I the problem in this?
So he does this thing
Okay.
with the government.
Okay.
All fine and dandy, continues on with his life.
Okay.
1988 or 89, the Philadelphia Experiment, the movie comes out.
How did he not run into himself?
Because he's not himself.
Well, there are different divisions. Like you have,
Well, like, he's not in his body. He, like, the brother is in Ed Cameron's. No.
I'm still curious about what
Buick's.
happened to the brother.
I don't have that
Apparently,
information.
we
sorry.
don't care about Duncan at all.
Yeah, no. Duncan's like that.
Hashtag
Like,
Duncan's lives matter. Duncan Hines matters. We need cake. Oh my god.
Rebecca, you're going to have so much fun with this.
Oh, my God.
This is gonna be fun. Okay, so
All right.
movie.
Yes. Movie comes out in
Okay.
88 or in 89. I didn't write it down, and that was stupid. But,
Because that's the plot hole in this.
Seaman. So as he's watching this movie, he said, Al Bielek said that when it originally came out, sorry, cheers, he saw advertisements for it, and he was like, man, that looks kind of interesting, but he didn't watch it, and then, like, he was in a certain situation. This is a stupid story that we can cut, but he went traveling somewhere for work and ended up, like, in a spot where he could see it, and he was like, well, I've got nothing else to do. It looks interesting. I'll watch it. The moment he started watching the Philadelphia Experiment, he said it all came back to him. He remembered his entire previous life as Ed Cameron. Well, not entire. There are patches that are still a little fuzzy, but he remembers being Ed Cameron. He remembers the Philadelphia Experiment. He remembers
Duncan.
2137, 2740. We've already determined Duncan's not important. 2749. He remembers it all. And Duncan.
Thank you.
You're welcome. He also starts remembering things that he did with the Montauk. Oh, wait, no.
What?
We're pausing. We're pausing. I forgot to mention this when I told you that he started working for the Montauk Project as Al Bielik. This part's cool. Okay. Rebecca's face. Ask your question, and then we'll go back.
No, this is my brain misfiring because this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. So he sees the Philadelphia experiment. He remembers everything.
Okay.
He says that the reason, or he starts like telling people about it, and then he starts going to radio shows, and then he starts going to like conspiracy theory conventions, and he's like a C-list celebrity in conspiracy theories. But he starts going and telling like, hey, this is what happened to me. This is what I experienced. This is what the military was doing at the time. And not a lot of people believe it. Like, most conspiracy theorists don't believe this.
Don't say.
I know. But there are some that do. So, to you guys, like, hey, Boos, how's it going? But for those that don't, you're in the majority. But there was some cool stuff about Al Bielik while he worked for the Montauk Project that I cannot forget about. Like, we've got to throw this in there.
Okay.
He's been to Mars numerous times.
Okay.
Using...
Teleportation?
the time travel tunnels, which were basically teleportation.
Wormholes.
Okay, friends, well, remember.
We're done. We're cutting Tiffany off.
So he's been to Mars.
No more wine for you.
He's been to Mars numerous times. He's worked on a bunch of mind control projects. He was the head of a mind control project. The Montauk brothers.
These are all things that he says.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but why wouldn't you believe him?
He's been to
You
Mars.
want one reason.
But he didn't go find Duncan.
She's stuck on Duncan. Like, all lives matter. All wormhole lives matter.
Boom.
Will that get me in trouble?
Shakalaka.
Sweet
I
baby
don't
Duncan.
know. But all lives do matter. So, yes. So, sweet baby Duncan, I don't know what happened to him. But this is basically what happened to Al Bielik.
What was the first one they went to? 21 something?
2137.
Okay, I need to leave a legacy for my great-grandchildren and tell them to find Duncan in 2137.
That's your legacy.
That's my legacy.
I love it.
Find Duncan.
Duncan Cameron.
Give them a sticker. Tell them this is their legacy.
Yes.
Boom. Shakalaka. So that's basically why some people still believe in it, because Al Bielik supports it and says that it actually happened.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's my jam. That's it.
That's it?
That's done.
We're okay.
Yeah. This one was convoluted. It made Rebecca make some really funny faces. I'm sorry this is not a video and you guys couldn't see it, but hey.
Yeah.
That's the Philadelphia Montauk Bueller Cameron
Bueller.
Duncan experiment.
Yeah. Da, 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 da.
What just happened?
I don't know. I feel like I just went through a wormhole.
Yeah, most of my wine is gone because I don't know what's going on.
Just drink until it makes sense.
I'm going to need something more than wine to have it make sense.
Needless to say, most conspiracy theorists don't believe this actually happened and think Al Bielik was full of BS. But I don't speak ill of the dead, and he is no longer with us.
How do we really know he's dead and not just wormhole somewhere?
Oh. Rebecca coming through.
Good job. All
Thanks.
right. Well, there's that.
Okay.
All right.
Wine.
So,
Well, Tiffany, true question is, what do you think happened?
I think that they were experimenting with invisibility, but it was radar invisibility. I would like to believe that they were able to make a ship disappear and teleport and time travel, and that there are wormholes. And Al Bielik goes, if you listen to some of his interviews, he talks about how there are aliens that walk among us and Men in Black and all this fun stuff. And I would like to believe all of that. I really would, but I can't I can't believe it based on Al Bielik and Carl Allen alone. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to say I don't believe the Philadelphia experiment happened, but in my heart of hearts, I would like to believe it did.
You're so positive.
Whereas I'm like, I discounted this like 10 minutes into the episode.
If you had asked me, like, yesterday, I was in such a negative space that I'd have been like, it's all false, F everybody. But today, like, I would like to believe it's true.
Hashtag where's Duncan?
So remember, friends.
Oh my God.
Guys, if you stuck with us through this, I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
And I will say that
We might have to screen Tiffany's subjects.
well, I have my next few subjects already planned out and researched.
Never
and
mind.
They're not conspiracy theories. And
Whoa, wait. What? That's the real conspiracy theory here.
Wait,
Tiffany has her subjects
Tiffany's
planned and researched.
Yes,
What's going
ma'am.
on?
Yeah. No, see, here's the deal. Would you like a little peek behind the curtain, listeners? I jacked up our last recording where I was supposed
We
to
don't have
record
to talk
something.
about this.
No, we're not going to talk much about it, but I jacked it up. And to try and make up for it, I was like, you know what? I can't do that because we actually have people who are listening besides our parents, which is weird to me. So I need to make sure that things are actually somewhat researched. And I had already started on the Philadelphia experiment, and it's not one you can really justify. So I just rolled with it. And the next ones are
I mean, if they
researched.
haven't stopped listening to us by now, my family, they might stop after the statics conversation.
It's not that I don't think statics exist. It's the fact that you had to sit through an entire semester on a class about it.
It's
Like, that couldn't just been, like,
important.
roped into, like, your Bridges class or something.
That it was the Bridges
Oh,
class.
jeez.
What are you that was the Bridges class.
Remember, friends,
How am I the odd one out? Like,
everyone
really?
has something that they find odd, like classes about things that don't move.
Hey now.
I am not sure I can tell you why that one's not odd, but I can try. So let us try and tell you why it's not.
The salt is real. Anyway, if you have any questionable topics you like to discuss or wonder how statics actually works, links can be found not to statics, but to us at theladiesestrange.com, or you can email them to us at theladiesestrange@gmail.com. I'm so mad at y'all.
Please don't forget to like, subscribe, rate, and review. And if you think we're doing a great job and want to support the show, hallelujah to
stickers.
you! And get stickers! We have stickers now. So if that's what you would like to do, we love you, thank you. You can now find us on Patreon. Keep it strange, lovelies, and please stay tuned. God, it'll get better.
Statics is real.
I'm not.
I don't understand why.
Keep it moving. Unlike statics, okay? Keep it moving.
I hate both of you.